This year, NOAA marks 50 years of science, service, and stewardship. That quote is written right on their homepage. NOAA came from an understanding that our oceans and atmosphere are inextricably linked and that our planet depends on it, not only for the quality of our lives, but for life itself on this planet. Hi, I'm Chris May, host of This Day in Weather History, a podcast from the Weather Network in Canada. Hey, check out the TV station, The Weather Network, or hit us up online as the podcast video shorts are now playing. There's one dedicated to today. You get a preview version of today's episode right from the TDI WH podcast studio where I'm recording right now. We've got it loaded with video, so it really brings the story to life. It's on TV, and you can also find them at www.theweathernetwork.com/weather history. Check those out today. In the 50 years since its merger of science offices, NOAA has become a world-class science agency that analyzes and monitors everything from the floor of our deepest oceans to the surface of our nearest star, our sun, because everything matters. NOAA was officially founded as the organization that it is today back on October 3rd, 1970, this day in weather history. But its roots go back to the 18th century, and it involves a weather nerd who would go on to become President of the United States of America. For the third sitting President of the U.S., the weather held a curious fascination for one Thomas Jefferson as he made regular weather observations in a journal. He bought his first thermometer while working on the Declaration of Independence. Perhaps you've heard of it? No, he was not out shopping for a snappy new pen or a bow tie or a top hat. No, it was a thermometer. And then shortly after that, he purchased his first barometer. In 1807, President Thomas Jefferson founded the U.S. Coast and Geodetic Survey as a survey of the American coast to provide nautical charts to the maritime community for safe passage into American ports and along our extensive coastline. The actual Weather Bureau itself was founded in 1870, and then 100 years later, groups were merged to form what is known today as NOAA. The idea was logical. The ocean and the atmosphere are inextricably linked, and we depend on it, not just for the quality of our lives, but like I said off the beginning, for life itself. So, together with the U.S. Commission of Fish and Fisheries, we had the organizations that were America's first physical science agency, first agency dedicated specifically to the atmospheric sciences, and first conservation agency. Put together, they made up NOAA. The year was 1970 when all of this came together under one magnificent umbrella, and 50 years later, we are in the very strange and otherwise bizarre year 2020. But it does stand as the 50th anniversary of the founding of the organization we know today that is so integrated in our lives and on so many naturally occurring levels. It is amazing that from those early and inauspicious beginnings back before the Declaration of Independence was ever signed, the dawn's early light was glowing on what would become our National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association. And then over 50 years, spanning 1970 to 2020, this world-class science agency has grown to 16 satellites orbiting our Earth, 76 billion weather observations collected every year, 224 miles per hour or 365 kilometers per hour goes down in history as the highest wind speed registered by one of their Hurricane Hunter aircraft. 26 terabytes of oceanic, atmospheric, and geophysical data is collected each month. 675,000 greenhouse gas measurements are taken per year. 279,863 miles that NOAA ships sailed in 2019 alone on research and survey expeditions. 1.9 million square kilometers of ocean floor has been mapped by the NOAA ship Okeanos Explorer. $3.4 billion of coral reef that NOAA supports each year through conservation initiatives. And NOAA researchers recorded the first sounds of the epic Mariana Trench at a staggering and crushing depth of 36,000 feet or 11,000 meters. That is a ton of stuff, and it's not even close to everything that this organization has already achieved in 50 short years. and it became a real thing. October 3rd, 1970, this day in weather history. Tomorrow is October 4th, and we are covering another story of how weather affected a major wartime event. The Battle of Germantown was a major engagement in the Philadelphia campaign of the American Revolutionary War. This battle took place on October 4th of 1777 at Germantown, Pennsylvania, between the British Army and the American Continental Army with the 2nd Canadian Regiment under General George Washington. That took place in October of 1777 on this day in weather history with me, your host, Chris May.